Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is
Rad and Shank. Hello and welcome to Unrequested with Rad and Shank. I'm Rad.
This Shank.
And first, let's start with this, Shank.
Yeah.
I want to apologize to our listeners. It's been 2 weeks.
It's been 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
Since we dropped an episode. And guys, life just kind of happened. And
yeah,
I know consistency matters, especially to an audience. And it's like, it's dangerous, man. Because you know, people think, oh, well, maybe they just stopped doing it. They don't check in, you know. So we are doing our first video podcast in conjunction with this episode. So we're going to start posting that on looking guy. I think people get to see
you too, man.
Thanks, you know.
I think people should see
but
you.
I think they should see us because honestly, half the time, I think what we're laughing about, the laughter in the audio is contagious. I think so. But when we're laughing at each other, and I think sometimes they should see the expressions and stuff like that. Yeah, man. So I think it's cool that we're gonna do that, and this is our way of like making it up to you guys. So. Get on our YouTube and you can check out. Now we're not going to put the whole episode up there. We're just going to kind of put the meaty parts.
I heard meaty
parts.
I don't know why I just envisioned like ground beef just being massaged by a butcher.
You made let's talk about that. You made these amazing burgers. You want to share with the audience?
Oh my gosh, right? I made these amazing burger patties that tasted and reminded me of meatloaf. It was amazing. So we did all the fixings you would do, like as if you were preparing to make a meatloaf, but in burger form.
So that's why I'm on my phone right now. I'm actually texting Jennifer to get the ingredients because I'm going to make that tonight.
Yeah.
So she's texting me about that, and she just texted me. So this is what this episode is going to be about.
Yeah.
She just texted me and said, "Don't forget to lock the door." Right. And I almost forgot. Right.
You did.
So you guys who've been listening for a while, you know she's my wife, but she's also our producer. So she handles everything.
Yeah.
Outside of us talking. So right before we started, Shank was like, should we have our phones on us? Because we're going to have to do our own research. And I was like, oh, man, that's right. We got to do our own research today. So bear with us if there's some pauses because I'm not going to be as quick as when we have Jennifer in the background digging up all the factoids and everything. So what we want to talk about is when Nessa doesn't come in or Jennifer's not here, which is, honestly, I don't think it's ever happened, right? Shank always calls it a PTO day or sick day. So we're going to call it sick day because Jennifer is not doing well. She's not feeling well. She's doing fine. She had a little stomach bug. And you said you had a stomach bug.
I had a little stomach bug.
Yeah.
Yep.
So if anyone's got something going on with her stomach, apparently something's going around.
Yeah.
That said, so she couldn't be in today. And so I told Shank she had to take a sick day. So I want to talk about sick days, my man.
Yeah.
Okay. So we always joke, oh, Jennifer had to take a sick day. And we were this close, like, oh man, can we pull off an episode without Jennifer? Like, we're so needy.
Yeah.
I need Jennifer in the background looking stuff up and doing this and doing that. How could I possibly do an episode without her? And I was like, man, come on, I'm a grown ass man. I can do this. Like between Shank, we're smart, right?
I think we can put it together.
And damn it, we're smart, we're good looking, and damn it, people like us, so we can pull this off.
Yeah.
That said, sick days.
Yeah.
Now, I have some questions about sick. Now, the average, when you're sick like that, you gotta miss work. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's talk about sick days. The job that we met at and the job I used to have, we used to get 6 sick days in a year, right? At one point, it was a rolling 365, which that was garbage because like you had to like reset your sick days. So let's say you were sick on April 1st. The next year, April 1st, you would earn that day back. So, that's an interesting system, right? Then it became calendar year. So during the calendar year, you had 6 sick days that you could be absent, right? And then anything beyond that, corrective action, whatnot. But come January 1st, you reset. Boom. Now you got all 6 back. Okay. What do you think about those two? Because you are HR. So you're familiar, with, attendance mandates attendance SOP, attendance rules. You're also very familiar with the corrective action process, right? Or termination process regarding attendance. Lastly, you are very versed in the laws and regulations, or best practices, if you will, that surround attendance regarding what an employer can enforce or what how they should provide. Now, taking into account what I just said, now I worked at that place for 20 years, and that never changed as far as how many days, right? 6. What's your thoughts on that? Like the total number and everything else I said.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's protected time. Okay. Whenever you're sick, you use your own PTO, your own flex or float time or whatever buckets that's available to you. But man, that's protected time. Like if you're sick, even if you ain't, we ain't. I feel like corporate, it's change and it's being nimble in that essence. Like they're not checking for these things. Like unless if you're severely ill, then you would go through the benefit process and start a leave claim. Yeah, exactly. All that. And then that will. Yeah,
you got extenuating circumstances medically.
Yeah,
you need intermittent leave. You need. There's that you get to that point. So there are laws that protect you in that realm. Okay, but as far as attendance, so you're saying anytime someone's sick, they should be protected.
Yeah.
So that said, I agree.
Sure.
But how do you curb abuse? Now, this is crazy because here's what happens. I had a student who said this to me. I'm there, like, you're the most liberal person I know.
Yeah.
I love Robert Reich. I agree with her. Like, I'm very liberal. And something came up with what this company was supposedly doing to some employees, and they went on strike, and this whole thing came about. And I said, well, what's the other side of it? What are they asking for, and is it reasonable?
Yeah.
Right? Or are they just being ridiculous because they can hold the company hostage? And he was like, I am so shocked to hear you say that.
Yeah.
Because you are the most liberal person I know. And I was like, well, being liberal does not mean I don't see the other side. I always like to make an informed decision, right? Now, I was in management, and so I saw the other side, and I saw the abuse, and I couldn't stand it, right? So I always stood by the company in enforcement with regard to enforcement, because I was like, I started to become jaded.
Yeah.
Because I started to see more abuse than legitimacy. But then when I saw legitimacy, I felt bad because then I couldn't protect the employee.
Yeah.
Right. And they had legitimate issues.
Yeah.
And I felt for them. So, I had ways as a leader. I was given certain leeway, unpaid time off. So things that I was able to run through my boss and get pushed through to protect the employees.
Yeah.
So I was given, as a leader, I was given an opportunity to shield people from those things. Right. But then it made me even angrier against the abusive people, because there's people with real shit. And I always say that, like, when you think you want to play a victim, there's people with real shit going on, or real problems, and then you ruin it for everyone kind of mentality, right?
Yeah.
Because you abuse it. So there's never going to be a way to give benefits to someone without someone abusing it. That's just the nature of the beast, right? So what do you think about, like, curbing that balance? Or it's like, what are your thoughts on all that?
I think it's just setting expectations. That's all what I think it comes down to, because that's what I guide leaders to do. Is your team has a culture that comes with it, and so depending on the team culture, what you establish, you can absolutely structure and set expectations. Like I think we've done that on our team, where we were only like 3 or 4 agents were allotted to be out on the same day or something, like stuff and like that.
I set things in place where, given my workforce, I was like, well, you guys could trade with each other.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Or communicate, or if that person can do this, or if someone was out sick. Yeah, you're right. Because that was my effort to balance my departments. Right.
Yeah.
So, okay, I see what you're saying.
That's
so
what
leave
I'm
it to the
saying.
leadership, departmental leadership.
Yeah, to kind of guide it.
Because, and that makes sense to me. I agree with you, because they know what resources they need. And then they know to get the job done, right? And then they know when those resources are hampered, right?
Yeah.
Or in danger. And then they can kind of make the best decisions to balance those things out. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, so I agree with you. So then it's about getting the right leaders in those positions.
Oh
right?
my gosh.
Because if you got a hard ass in there and he's just, I don't care about your problems, come to work, right? It's good, great. He's that guy for the company, but he's not that guy for his people.
Yeah.
Right. And there's a balance to be struck there. Now, this could probably be getting boring for people who are like, what's going on with Rad and Shank talking about this corporate stuff? But, we come from that world. And, if you guys don't realize, I'm retired.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But Shank is still in that world, like deep in that world. You know what I'm saying? But But, it's good information. If you listen to our podcast, I always tell you guys, you should benefit from our knowledge. You should benefit from what we know about those structures. So this is opinion based, as far as how we feel about sick days. Now,